Good morning all. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So shall we start? We'll start in just 2 minutes. Just wait, I'm opening the presentation. Just a moment, I'm starting the class. So today we have the lab in the afternoon. Just a moment. It's not a presentation is giving some trouble. Yeah, I will share the screen with you. Are you able to see the presentation? Yeah. So now today we will discuss the tubes. Yesterday we have seen the balancing of the tire and the tire wear. Now today we will be discussing the tubes. So basically, so classification of a tube, we have got the radial tire tube, then puncture sealing tube, then safety tube. We only know the one kind of tube which is used in the tire, but here you can have different types of tubes. The natural rubber, no strips, then synthetic rubber, blue strip. Actually, these no strip का मतलब ये है कि for designation or to come to or to distinguish between the synthetic and natural, there are strips of blue color which is given. So if you find that there are blue strips on the tube which you are fitting into the tire, then it will be from the synthetic rubber, and almost all the tubes which we see, they are of the they are made up of the synthetic rubber. Okay. Now coming here, you have got the radial tire tube, the puncture sealing tube. So it contains plastic coating on inside. Sealant and sealing action is same as in self-sealing tires. And the safety tube, two tubes, one inside other. If outer tube fails, the inner tube retains the air pressure. So this is basically the different types of tubes used for different kinds of application. So the next one is the wheels. So for wheels, we have got the pressed steel wheel, which are widely used. Many vehicles have aluminum wheels as well because aluminum is lighter and it has got the good conductivity. So whatever heat is generated in the tire, that will be getting dissipated through this aluminum. These are very good, you can say, the wheels which is in use. So it reduces the unsprung weight. This we will see in the suspension system. Then improves ride because less bouncing is felt. Cools at a faster rate compared to steel, which helps in effective braking and tire performance. This is what I told you just 2 minutes back, that it is the aluminum is having good conductivity, so the heat dissipation is good. So you can say tire performance is good and tire life is also good. Composite wheels made up of fiberglass, sheet molding compounds and special resins are lighter than aluminum wheels. Nowadays there are many types of wheels which are in use. The alloy wheels are most common, but there are certain problems with the alloy wheels. Okay, we'll see what are those problems. Okay, now the wheel assembly. The wheel assembly generally consists of hub. So here you can see the complete wheel assembly, how it has been done. So this is basically the aluminum type of conventional aluminum wheel. So it is the hub, disc, spoke, rim, tire, and tubes. The wheel resists the side force created by turning. So please understand that wheel has to undergo the forces. Now here, this particular classification gives you the positive and negative points. So pressed steel wheel, pressed steel disc wheel. It is simple and robust, easy to produce in large number at lower cost, less maintenance, ease in cleaning. Then the wired wheels. Nowadays it is not used. Wired wheels are used in old cars, but now it has been discarded. The problem is if there is any of the if any of the spoke fails, then there is going to be the problem in that particular wheel. So free air circulation around the brake drum. Tubeless tire cannot be used. So this is the major drawback of these wired wheels, and difficult to clean. Okay, because the dirt can accumulate in the wires. Then light alloy casting wheels, light in weight, better stress distribution, use of good alloy material, alloy being good conductor of heat, better heat dissipation, costly. And one more point which you can add in this light alloy casting wheel is the, from aesthetic point of view, these are the best compared to remaining two. So if you see the old vintage car, then you can find out the wired wheels. So I have got that. So here you have got the wired wheel. So this is used in the old car. Now this is the pressed steel disc wheel, which is used in almost maximum car, and light alloy wheel. So please understand the problem with this kinds of wheel. That means by chance in any of the accident or because of the stress, any of this arm fails, then in that case you have to discard the complete you can say wheel casing. So that is basically the problem with the alloy wheels. Otherwise there is no problem as such, because the cost is there. So there is replacement is the only solution. Here you can do that. If there is some problem, you can make it to the proper shape, because this is the steel disc wheel. So that is the only issue. Nowadays the alloy wheels are most common. People don't bother about the cost, so alloy wheels are more common type of wheels which are used in the vehicle. So with this we have come to an end as far as the tires are concerned. So whatever I'll run through the presentation, whatever we have seen. So right from the first slide, we have seen what are the functions of the tire, then parts of the tire, then then the coefficient of friction, how it changes, then theory of adhesive friction, the tires with tube, tires without tube, what is the difference, which one is good, then the designation of the tire, then the tire construction, we have seen the video as well for the tire construction, then the radial and bias ply tires, what is the difference between radial and bias ply, which tire is good, that we have seen, then comparison of radial and bias ply tire, then tire designation, how the tires are designated, different types of designations they are used, but this is the one which we follow the metric designation. Then after tire designation, we have seen that the tire inspection, how to inspect the tire, and you have got the trade wear mark, how to check that whether the tire is worn out or not. Then there is a small discussion on the tire rotation, then run out, what is the run out on the tire, radial run out and axial run out, that we have seen. Then how to check the radial run out and tire run out, that also we have seen. So after that, we have seen the balancing of the wheel. What do you mean by static balancing? What do you mean by dynamic balancing? Whether it is necessary that the wheels should be statically balanced and dynamically balanced. We have seen that even if it is statically balanced, there is a chances that it may not be a dynamically balanced wheel, because the balance weights, they are added in two different planes. So we have seen that for static balance, it will increase with the wheel speed, and dynamic balance, it is going to go at one particular peak and come down. So this is what I have said, that this is not correct. I will correct it and send the slides to you. Okay, so don't worry about it. Then this we have seen. Then wheel balance, what are the purpose and how it is done. So symptoms and other things we have seen for the wheel balancing. Then after that, we have seen where the tire wear pattern. So what it indicates, that if there is a typical tire wear pattern, then what it indicates, that we have seen. Then I asked you the question whether the inflation of the tire is to be kept lesser in the summer days due to heat, air expands and all. Then I have answered to that question as well. Then this tire wear pattern, how it looks when the vehicle is running on the road. If you see these kinds of, you can say, the tire tread pattern on the road, then you can judge that which kind of wear is happening and what may be the reason for this tire wear. And after that, we have seen tubes, then wheels, then what are different types of wheels. So with this, we'll stop the discussion as far as the you can say tire is concerned. Anybody is having any difficulty, please let me know. Otherwise, then we will start with the transmission transmission system of the vehicle. Sir, किसी को नहीं, transmission के पहले I told you that we are going to have a small discussion on front end auxiliary drive. So we'll discuss that. तो सर आप बताइए, किसी को कुछ डिफिकल्टी है क्या टायर्स में? एक मिनट, लेट मी स्टार्ट. अभी थोड़ा सा हम लोग फ्रंट एंड ऑक्सिलरी ड्राइव के लिए बात करेंगे. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय फ्रंट एंड ऑक्सिलरी ड्राइव्स? एक मिनट. So for that I will require the slate. Okay. Just मैं slate चालू कर देता हूँ. So I'll share the screen with you. सर अभी स्लेट के लिए बात करते हैं कि सर किसी को कुछ डिफिकल्टी है क्या सर अभी? सर anybody is having any problem? Please ask. Otherwise we will start discussion on front end auxiliary drives. This is called as, आज का लेक्चर रिकॉर्ड नहीं किया लगता शायद, ओहो ठीक है कर देते हैं रिकॉर्ड, 1 मिनट सर। लेक्चर 14 और 15 आई डोंट नो, ओके ठीक है देख लेते हैं, कोई इशू नहीं। So we'll discuss front end auxiliary. Have you heard this? This is called as FEAD. So FEAD. Sir, has somebody heard about this? Sir, please let me know. इसके बारे में आपने सुना है क्या? ओके ठीक है, चलो मैं आपको बता देता हूं कि व्हाट इज दिस फ्रंट एंड ऑक्सिलरी ड्राइव। सी what are the auxiliary systems which are fitted in the vehicle? Here it comes the AC compressor, second auxiliary is power steering pump, okay, then after that alternator with vacuum pump, then what else is remaining? Water pump, pulley. So do you agree, sir? If you say that you want to have the car with AC fitted, then you have to have the AC compressor, because the compressor is required for compressing the refrigerant. Then power steering pump, nowadays it is must, all of you agree with this. Then alternator with vacuum pump, because you have to constantly charge the battery, and water pump pulley, because the engine requires circulation of the cooling water to maintain the temperature of the engine. So where from all these people, all these components, they are taking the power? Can you tell me where from the power to these components is supplied? It is not the fuel, it is not the crankshaft, it is basically the engine. How you take power, it is okay. So it is basically the engine which is providing the power to this particular thing. So now if you draw the layout of front end drive. Why it is called as the front end drive? Because the power is supplied from the engine crankshaft, and engine crankshaft is, there are two ends to the engine. So engine has got two ends. Please understand that this is not given in the book, so please pay due attention, because this is not available in the book, and this is basically followed in most of the automotive industry, and even it is useful for your when you give your vehicle for servicing, you should know that how to check and what is the meaning of these particular terms. So please understand, you take any automobile engineering book, it will not be mentioned, okay, layouting and other thing. So I am giving this particular information from your practical point of view, because I have worked on the design of the front end auxiliary drive. So I am a I am in good position to tell you that what is this, how it is designed, what you people expect, and where the knowledge of mechanical engineering is required. Okay, so now engine has got two ends. One is the end where your crankshaft pulley is fitted. Do you agree to this? Have you learnt engine course by chance? सर कोई इंजन का अभी आपने कोर्स पढ़ा है क्या? किसी सब्जेक्ट में एनर्जी कन्वर्शन या किसी में इंजन पढ़ा है क्या? Just say yes or no. If you are saying yes or no, then accordingly I will give you the information. If you have learned, okay, so you have studied. So you know that the engine has got the crankshaft and you have got the crankshaft end of the engine. The crankshaft is fitted on the one end of the engine and this is referred to as the front end of the engine. Front end of engine. And what about the other end? The other end is basically the flywheel end. So this is the front and you can say rear or back end of engine. So now as the word suggests that it is the front end auxiliary drives, that means it is going to take the power from the crankshaft. You agree to this, sir? So now I will draw the layout. So you will, yeah. Why crankshaft pulley is also called as the damper pulley. Are you aware about it? Crankshaft pulley is most of the time called as the damper pulley. Sir, why it is called as damper pulley, or are you aware that it is called as the damper pulley? So you are not aware that this is called as the damper pulley because yeah, if you have studied the vibration, then in that case you might have come across the term damper. So this particular pulley is fitted with one ring which is damping out the odd harmonics which are present. What do you mean by harmonics? If I say harmonic third order, fifth order, seventh order, or second order, third 2.5 order, what is the harmonics? What do you mean by second harmonics? सर भूल गए क्या सर आप? Okay, that is frequency of vibration, it is common, but what do you mean by exactly? What is, if I say that it's a third order, harmonics is present in this particular mode, then what do you mean by that? Frequency of vibration, Prajwal, that is okay, because we are discussing about the vibration. Integral of natural frequency, multiple of natural frequency, yes. So second harmonics, that means it is 3 times multiple of the first natural frequency. Okay, when I say that it is 2.5 times harmonics, that means it is 2.5 times the means I say that it is of the order of 2.5 harmonics, then it is 2.5 times the first fundamental frequency of the vibration. So those who have studied the JEE or they have studied the sound in the 11th and 12th, that they might be aware. So this is no need to teach you in engineering. These are the things which you have already studied in JEE, if I am not wrong, in the chapter of the sound waves and stationary waves, okay, or standing waves. So now this crankshaft, it is having one ring which is used as a dampener for damping out the vibrations which are produced due to the firing of the engine. because in engine what happens, there is a sudden explosion or sudden burning of the fuel, and because of that during power stroke there will be the number of vibrations which are produced, and out of that some of the vibrations they get transmitted to the crankshaft which are to be damped, because otherwise then the complete engine will vibrate. So there are arrangements which are made in this particular engine to damp out the vibration, and one of that is the crankshaft pulley that is fitted with the damper, and that is why it is called as damper pulley as well. So please understand that if somebody tells you the damper pulley, so the first thing it should come to your mind is it is doing the job of dampening the vibrations. Which harmonics and other, that depends upon the type of damper and type of the vibrations or harmonics you are targeting. Okay, now I will draw the layout. Here you have got the crankshaft pulley. Right above the crankshaft pulley you have got the water pump pulley. Here you got the compressor pulley, and here you got the power steering. So how the layouting is done, I will draw the blue color for water pump. So the drive is taken from the crankshaft. Okay, then this damper pulley, if you see the side view, then it is the multiple number of pulleys are there. So this is the one slot, this is the other slot. From inner slot you take the drive for power steering pump. From other slot you take the, that means if you see the side view of the crankshaft pulley, so it looks something like this. Just for your understanding I am drawing this. Then the smaller pulley. Okay, so this is pulley, outer pulley, this is then inner pulley, and this is the last pulley. So this is the side view. If you look at this, now this is the water pump pulley, and from water pump pulley you have got the small pulley, and the drive is given to your alternator. So this is the alternator pulley. This is water pump pulley. This is compressor pulley. This is power steering pulley. And this is crankshaft pulley. So if you happen to get the chance to open the bonnet of the vehicle, then please try to see that how the drives are provided. This is the typical drive which is provided in one of the vehicle which is being used. You will find that there is a separate drive for all the, you can say, different components which are fitted in the engine. Now here what is the problem you see in this kind of layout, and what is the advantage of this kind of layout? So now you suppose I give you the choice. One more thing I forgot to tell you, that there is some kind of tensioner pulley is also provided. So you can say that मैं यहाँ आपको टेंशनर दिखा देता हूँ, जस्ट ये कट करके थोड़ा सा आप करिएगा, ये थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे मैं आपको टेंशनर भी बता देता हूँ, सो दैट यू वोंट हैव एनी इशू समझने में कि भाई ये टेंशनर भी दिया रहता है करके, नहीं तो आप बोलेंगे कि सर हमने तो देखा उसमें तो ऐसा नहीं था. So here you can have, I forgot to draw this tensioner which is fitted in the ladder slot. तो सर एक मिनट सर, तब तक क्या आप सोचिए कि इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है. ये बेल्ट यहाँ जाएगा और यहाँ जाएगा, सो दैट कि आप टेंशनर को अगर इधर मूव किए तो टेंशन बढ़ेगा. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज दी टेंशनर. Sir, this is generally the layout of the this used to be the old layout. Now you will see that such kind of layout is available on some of the vehicle, but not all the vehicles. The problem with this particular layout is you got to have the different kinds of belt, and the alignment of the belt becomes difficult. If any of the belt is getting out of the plane, then there is the failure of that particular belt. Now coming to the alternator pulley, I have said that alternator with vacuum pump, if you find the alternator, if you happen to see the alternator, so for that you have to open the bonnet of the vehicle and have a look of the layout of these particular components. So if you see that, you will find there is a small black unit which is fitted on the back side of the alternator, that is nothing but the vacuum pump. Why you require vacuum pump? Because vacuum is required to for the operation of the brake. So for operating the brake, you require to provide the vacuum. For actuation of the brake, there is one more oil is also provided. Also, in some of the engines, not all, I am saying, please don't say that कि sir आपने बताया था. So I am saying some of the engines, there is a vacuum pump which has to be, there is the vacuum valve which has to be operated for the exhaust gas recirculation. The exhaust gas recirculation is controlled by the vacuum which is produced by the vacuum pump. In some of the vehicles, not all. So please, I'm repeating it once again, not all. So for that you require the vacuum to operate the pump, and there also the alternator is fitted with the vacuum pump. So now by chance if there is a failure of this particular belt, let us say alternator belt अगर fail हो गया तो आपके गाड़ी के brakes fail होते हैं. And if that thing happens, then application of brake becomes difficult. The brakes will no longer be that effective which it used to be with the vacuum. And if there is certain problem with this, then you know that what is going to happen. Okay. So generally, these kinds of belt they have to be replaced around 20 to 25,000 kilometers. So life of belt approximately it is 20,000 to 25,000 kilometers. Okay. Now regarding belt, there are many myths which are prevailing. The why belt fails, how belt has to be fitted, how to identify that there is a problem with the belt and other things. So one more thing I would like to tell you is that the belt will be providing power only when there is a proper tension given to the belt, because if the belt is loose, then there is a problem of the slipping of the belt. So how do you can say identify the problem of the belt? Now regarding belt, I will give you some good points so that you will not forget. So the first thing, I'm giving you the situation that you have got the belt. This is the belt which is fitted on the pulley. Okay, so this is pulley and not a single rotation. Second, सर ये आपने सब मशीन डिजाइन में पढ़ा होगा. अभी लेट अस चेक दिस कि whether you got this insight or not. सर मशीन डिजाइन में हैव यू स्टडीड द बेल्ट कि पढ़ने का है अभी तक के? Sir, I have drawn the 3 sketches 1, 2, 3. You can see it here. सर सबसे पहले मुझे आंसर दीजिए कि आपने मशीन डिजाइन में बेल्ट ड्राइव पढ़ा है क्या या अभी पढ़ने का है? सर से यस और नो. मुझे कैसा पता चलेगा सर कि आपको मालूम है कि नहीं? Okay, so you have studied that. Fine. So you know what are the different types of belt: V belt, flat belt. Yes or no, sir? सर वी बेल्ट पढ़ा है, मुझे बाकी का नहीं पूछने का. आपको वी बेल्ट पढ़ा है? ओके चलो ठीक है. तो ये सर वी बेल्ट ही है. नाउ आई हैव शोन यू 3 सिचुएशन 1, 2, 3. In first situation you have just fitted the belt and it has not run a single rotation. Then in second case you have fitted the belt which is brand new, you taken out from the packet and then fitted on the pulleys and it has run for 25 revolutions. Then the third one is you take out the belt, you fitted the brand new belt for and run it for almost 10,000 rpm, or you can say that 1 hour you have run that. So it has undergone 10,000 revolutions. Rather than saying rpm, I am saying just it is revolutions. So in 1 hour it might have undergone 10,000 revolutions. So please tell me which belt you call it as the new belt and which belt you call it as the old belt. Please tell me. Sir, have you understood the question which I asked? I'm asking you that you have got the brand new belt, you taken out that brand new belt and fitted onto the pulley, first, second and third. In which situation you will say that the belt is new? Sir, please give the answer to this. In third case, you are saying that the belt is new. Okay. What about others? New in 1 and 2 and old is 3. Okay. All 3 cases, Prajwal, Tamne, all are new until uniform wear occurs. Okay. Okay. Now, sir, when you studied the belt, when you fit the belt and you run the belt, then in that case there is a permanent set occurs because you run the belt only when there is the proper tension given to the belt. And once you give the tension to the belt, all the belts, even if it has run for one single rotation, if you fit it on the pulley, they are all called as the old belt. So there is nothing like new belt means it has not run at all. that is basically the new belt. So please keep this thing in mind. So don't be under the impression, because if you have studied the belt, then you should know this. Okay, the uniform wear is not the criteria for the belt. It is basically the belt which is not run a single rotation. That means here also I will not call this as the new belt. In all the three cases it is the old belt. Basically the belt which is not fitted on the pulley, that is the new belt. Okay, so this is new belt means ye not fitted on the pulley. So this is the definition. One more, कि एक भी रोटेशन उसने कंप्लीट नहीं किया है और पुली पे भी फिट नहीं हुआ है, that is only new belt. The moment you fit the belt on the pulley, you are going to apply the tension to the belt. Once the tension is applied to the belt, that becomes the old belt, because there is a permanent set which is occurring into the belt cords. Once that is done, then that belt becomes old. So have you understood this? Do you have any questions? सर इतनी बात समझ में आई क्या आपको? यस, चलो ये सर प्रैक्टिकल चीजें आप ख्याल में रखना. नो बुक विल गिव यू दिस unless and until you work in the belt manufacturing company or you work in the area of the belt. So please keep this thing in mind. तो अगर आप सर्विस डिपार्टमेंट में जाते हो और आपका बेल्ट अगर चेंज करना है गाड़ी का, सो मेक श्योर दैट ही हैज नॉट टेकन आउट द बेल्ट और बोलेगा कि साहब ये 2 ही रिवॉल्यूशन चला है या अभी जस्ट हमने फिट करके देखा था. सो डोंट एक्सेप्ट दैट बेल्ट. You ask him to show the packed belt and then you get it fitted on your vehicle. Otherwise, all belts, they are considered as the old belt. Okay, that is one thing. Now, second, how do you identify belt sleep? Sorry, belt is sleeping. Sorry. Belt sleep कैसे identify करोगे? Suppose you have to check whether there is the slip of belt on the pulley. So how do you identify कि ये बेल्ट अभी स्लिप हो रहा है या कैसे? आपने तो पढ़ा है ना स्लिप, यू नो इट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन दी, क्या है सर स्लिप का डेफिनेशन? परसेंटेज स्लिप एंड ऑल. यू हैव सेड दैट 3% is acceptable on the V belt. Am I correct or not? अरे भाई थोड़ा आंसर तो दो ताकि आपको पता चले कि भाई आपका आपने क्या समझा है. अगर आपने प्रॉपर समझा रहेगा तो मुझे एक्सप्लेनेशन की जरूरत नहीं है, मैं जस्ट आपको बता के आगे बढ़ जाऊंगा. अगर आपको नहीं समझा है तो आई विल टेल यू. सो प्लीज गिव द आंसर. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय बेल्ट स्लीपिंग? Relative motion between pulley and belt. Okay, very good. Okay, relative velocity should be there between belt and pulley. Sir, Ayush sir, there should not be relative velocity between belt and pulley. That is not at all accepted. It happens that the issue is different, okay, but it is not acceptable. So relative motion between the pulley and belt, that is slip. Okay, this is the relative motion between pulley and belt. Okay, now you see that this is the pulley. Okay, this is the center line of the pulley and सर बेल्ट में बहुत कुछ है सीखने लायक. और सर ये है आपका, यू कैन से ये सर बेल्ट का क्रॉस सेक्शन है. इट विल नॉट टच द बॉटम. ठीक है, तो ये जो मैंने रेड कलर का किया है, दिस इज बेसिकली द बेल्ट एंड दिस इज पुली. तो सर नाउ ये अभी मैं इसका ये व्यू बता रहा हूँ। तो सर कभी भी आपको अगर बेल्ट को अगर देखना है कि इसमें स्लिप है कि नहीं, सो व्हाट यू गॉट टू ऑब्जर्व इज, सर ये जो साइड है बेल्ट का, ये जो साइड वॉल है, ये इफ इट इज शाइनिंग, that means or it is polished. If you observe that the side wall of the belt is polished or it is shining, 100% say that the belt is having slip. This is the standard observation one should make. So जब भी आप, सर ये सब चीजें आपको मालूम रहनी चाहिए, all these things you should know because you are a mechanical engineer. Whether you use it in for your job or not, that is different, but all of you are going to use the vehicle today or tomorrow. Some of you may be using it today itself, so you can identify just by observation the small problem in the vehicle कि अगर ये बेल्ट का पोर्शन अगर शाइनी दिख रहा है या पॉलिश्ड घिसा हुआ दिख रहा है, पॉलिश्ड का मतलब है घिसा हुआ, शाइनिंग का मतलब है कि अगर घिसने के बाद जैसे चमक आ जाती है मेटल पे, तो सेम काइंड ऑफ सरफेस इफ यू मार्क, then for sure you have to adjust the belt tension that there is some problem with the slipping of the belt. So that is one thing. And if at all, if you see this, there is another side to identify that where there is a belt slippage in the vehicle or not. So when you start the vehicle, there is a typical sound which is called as the chirping noise. Okay, so it is called as the, I will say, where should I write? यहाँ लिख देता हूँ मैं. This is the chirping noise. Noise is basically the unwanted sound which is produced at the start of the vehicle. At start of vehicle यानी जब भी आप फर्स्ट टाइम क्रैंक करोगे, मान लो आपका व्हीकल रात भर पार्किंग स्लॉट में है, and then next day morning if you are starting your vehicle and if you listen to the chirping noise, there is the noise of very high frequency and that is very unpleasant. If you hear such kind of noise, then for sure, and this noise will disappear after few seconds of starting the vehicle. So then that is the sign that there is 100% slipping of the belt is going to occur in the vehicle. So you need to carefully see that the noise is coming from which particular belt and set the belt tension so that there will not be any belt slippage. At the same time, you can inspect the belt if there is any failure on the side wall or on the belt body. So this is basically the relation. Sorry, this is basically the thing which one should notice when he is driving the vehicle. Further part of it, I will explain you in the next class. Anybody is having any difficulty, see, belt front end auxiliary drive chapter is not over yet. Though it is not given in the syllabus, I am teaching this additional because this is the chapter which will give, this is the discussion which will give you the total insight into the belt system of the vehicle, which is one of the most, you can say, critical area as far as the vehicle and engine is concerned. So do you have any difficulty? If you have any difficulty, please do ask. सर किसी को कुछ डिफिकल्टी है क्या? तो पूछिएगा सर. कर तो फोन. सर किसी को कुछ डिफिकल्टी है क्या? ओके, तो व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू कि नेक्स्ट क्लास में हम लोग इसको ही डिस्कस करेंगे फर्दर। आज का प्रैक्टिकल सर हम लोग नेक्स्ट वीक में कहीं एडजस्ट करेंगे बिकॉज टुडे वी हैव गॉट द डिपार्टमेंटल मीटिंग एट 3 o'clock। सो मंडे में आपको मंडे वी हैव गॉट द क्लास और नॉट। सो नेक्स्ट अपना थियरी का क्लास रहेगा, उसमें मैं आधा क्लास ये फ्रंट एंड ऑक्सिलरी ड्राइव पढ़ाऊंगा और आधा जो क्लास है मैं आपको प्रैक्टिकल में क्या करना है वो बता दूंगा। बट till that time you please do the calculations for theta and phi and find out the values for the turning circle radius by using the equations which I have told you। then in the remaining half of the next theory जो क्लास रहेगा तो उसमें सर मैं आपका वो पार्ट कंप्लीट कर दूंगा। Is that okay? So today we will not have a practical because we have got the meeting. So yesterday I got the message, so I thought that I should share with you. तो सर ठीक है क्या? Is it okay? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So sorry for that. Now over from my side, if you do not have any query, you can leave the meeting. There's no issue.